is stifled by the passions and overcome by Mara. This is why the Buddha says here in the second ground not to relax energetic surge. Bhumi 3. 1. Sutra. Furthermore, O Subhuti, the bodhisattva-mahasattva in the third bhumi should devote himself to 5 dharmas. What are these 5? 1. An insatiable desire for learning. What is this instiable desire for learning in the bodhisattva-mahasattva? The insatiable desire that makes him say, I will remember everything that has been said by the blessed Buddhas in this universe and everywhere in the universes of the 10 directions. This is the insatiable desire for learning in the bodhisattva. Sastra. The bodhisattva knows that learning is the cause and condition for wisdom and that, possessing this wisdom, he will be able to follow the path with discernment. Endowed with vision, this person travels without any obstacles. This is why the bodhisattva makes the wish to remember completely all the teachings preached by the Buddhas of the 10 directions. He remembers everything by the power of the srutadharadharani. The dharani of retaining what has been heard, by the power of the very pure divine eye and by the power of the asampramosadharani the dharani of not forgetting. Just as the great sea collects and retains all the waters flowing from the 10 directions, so the bodhisattva collects and retains all the teachings preached by the Buddhas of the 10 directions. 2. Sutra. Choosing the selfless gift of Dharma by preference without deriving any pride. By way of this gift of Dharma, the bodhisattva does not even wish for supreme perfect enlightenment or any other thing for that matter. Sastra. Some bad weeds grow among the grain, but if one eliminates the ryegrass, the grain flourishes. This is what the bodhisattva does. Practicing the gift of the Dharma in preference over all the others, he desires neither fame nor gain nor fruit of maturation in future lives. In the interest of others, he goes even so far as not to seek the nirvana of the lesser vehicle. He limits himself in his great compassion for beings to turning the will of the Dharma following the Buddhas. This is the specific characteristic of generosity of the Dharma. 3. Sutra. The purification of the Buddha fields, without deriving pride from it. Using all the roots of good for the purification of the Buddha fields. 4. Sutra. Question. There are many reasons why the bodhisattva does not tire of dwelling in samsara. Why then does the sutra mention only 2, namely, his desires to ripen beings and to purify his Buddha field? Answer. When the bodhisattva dependent on his roots of good dwells in samsara, his sufferings and torments are diminished. He is like a wounded man who has been given a good medicine and whose sufferings are thus decreased notably. The bodhisattva has acquired roots of good so pure that the sadness, jealousies, malicious thoughts of the present existence are eliminated for him. When he assumes a new existence, he gathers the fruits of retribution of his roots of good, he himself enjoys happiness, works in many ways for the benefit of beings and purifies his own Buddha field as he wishes. The splendor of the Buddha universes surpasses that of the divine palaces. One never tires of contemplating them. They soothe the minds of the great bodhisattvas and, even more so, those of worldly people. This is why even though the bodhisattva has many reasons for remaining in samsara, the sutra mentions only these 2 here. 5. Sutra. Settling into shame, but without deriving any pride from it. The repulsion that the bodhisattva should feel for the state of mind of the Sravaka and the Pratyeka Buddha. The bodhisattva-mahasattva in the third ground, O Subhuti, should hold to these 5 dharmas. Sastra. There are several types of shame. Here it is a matter of repulsion for the state of mind of the Sravaka and Pratyeka Buddha. The bodhisattva has made the resolution to save all beings in general. If, like the Sravakas, he accepted only a little suffering or, like the Pratyeka Buddhas, he wanted to go alone to nirvana, this would be shameful on his part. If, after having prepared a feast and invited a crowd of people, a man was seized by an attack of miserliness and started to eat alone, that would be shameful. Bhumi 4. 1. Sutra. Furthermore, O Subhuti, the bodhisattva-mahasattva in the fourth bhumi should take up the 10 dharmas and never give them up. What are these 10? 1. Never giving up living in the forest. In the bodhisattva, what is this faithfulness to staying in the forest? Bypassing the stage of all the Sravakas and Pratyekabuddhas is not renouncing the stay in the forest. Sastra. Staying in the forest is staying away from crowds and dwelling alone. For the bodhisattva, bypassing the Sravaka and Pratyekabuddha stage is staying away from crowds. 2. Sutra. Little desire. The bodhisattva does not even desire supreme complete enlightenment and, still less, any other thing. Sastra. By virtue of the emptiness consisting of the non-apprehension of dharmas, the bodhisattva does not seize any characteristic marks and does not become attached to them. It is the same up to anuttara samyaksambhati. He practices detachment of mind. 3. Sutra. Satisfaction. The acquiring of the knowledge of all the aspects. Sastra. The bodhisattva who always accumulates the qualities without ever getting tired is satisfied when he has attained supreme enlightenment, for there is no dharma superior to it. As for satisfaction in regard to food, clothing, beds, seats, etc., it is a cause and condition of good dharmas, but, as it does not consider it to be important, the sutra does not speak of it here. 4. Sutra. Sastra. In a following chapter, the Kyumopin, we will speak about the acquiescence that dharmas do not arise. In the present passage, the sutra, by Buddha, means this anutpadakadharmaksanti. During the course of the preparatory convictions, the bodhisattva contemplates the anutpadakadharmaksanti. The 12 duttas produce purity of morality produces concentration, and concentration produces wisdom. But true wisdom is anutpadakadharmaksanti. Therefore anutpadakadharmaksanti is the fruit of maturation of the duttas. Actually, here the sutra metaphorically is designating the effect by the cause. 5. Sutra. The non-abandoning of the moral dictates. This is the non-observance of all the moral regulations. Sastra. The bodhisattva who understands the true nature of dharmas sees neither morality nor immorality. Although, for many reasons he does not violate morality, what is important for him is to cross through the gate of deliverance called emptiness. 6. Sutra. Disgust for the 5 objects of desire. Not producing even the idea of desire. Sastra. See above. Here the Buddha would say, when one knows that the nature of the mind is deceptive and unreal, one no longer produces even the idea of desire, and all the more so, one no longer experiences the 5 objects of desire.